Hello. So everything's foiled. I have this little piece right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. So we're just gonna pop that in there and not foil it. We're gonna let the solder do the work. So it's pretty tight from, that last video that I had when put this together. There's not much movement. So we're just pretty tight in there. I'm hoping it won't be a problem after I foil it. So we're gonna do the deep inside portion first before we do anything else. I don't want to start from the edge and work inwards. I'd rather tackle the hardest part first and go from there. So we're gonna start from here. Sorry. I'll try not to make this a long video, but obviously you can stay as long as you want or all the way, a minute or two. It's up to you. Basically, I am your guest, so you decide what you want to do. All right, so can you foil this without splitting? Yes, you can. Does it have to be a special type of foil? No, it does not. So any brand will work. It doesn't matter if it's a thicker foil in thickness or if it's thin. These are thin. Masters, I don't know whatever happened to them. After I stopped glassing for 10 years, there are no more. I mean, you still see their foil. I think it's from people retiring from stained glass, selling all their stuff to stores, and they just happen to have some master foil. Those you can feel there is a bit of they're thicker. This one is definitely thin, but any foil will do. So what I want to make sure is that the foil is on there nicely, not me stretching the foil and trying to force it in there. That is not going to be good. You're already going to be putting so much tension on it, and trying to put more tension on it by stretching the foil. It's probably not a good combination, you know? So I'm just making sure the edge is on there. So here's the trick. You just gotta take your time. There's no rushing this, unfortunately, because once you do try to rush it, it is gonna tear. And that just annoys me, because if I did it right, it shouldn't have teared. There are other tricks where you can lay some foil down where the split is and use an X-Acto knife. I've tried that. I personally just don't like it, mainly because of the fact that, oops, sorry. It's not an earthquake. It was just me hitting the stand. Yeah, I just didn't like it. During the soldering stages where I was having a very difficult time with that method. Even if I burnished it like a mother, it still would come apart. All right. So you just want to go slow. Oh, shoot. Not do that. I am putting pressure on the edging portion because I just want to make sure that it sticks to the edge while I'm turning inwards as I'm going back and forth and back and forth. And then at some point, I'll be able to make contact with the adhesive side to the glass. But you just don't want to force it. So right now what I'm doing right now is just stretching the foil so that it does not split when it makes contact with the glass. That's pretty much the trick of this. This fiddle stick is from Creators. They really make some awesome stuff. The Beetle bit cutter. So if you want to do straight cuts or exact same square box, cuts and stuff like that, that's a really, really good system. All right, I think this is almost ready to get contact with the glass. So I'm not putting much pressure, I'm just slowly turning the fiddle stick downwards so that the adhesive side of the foil makes contact with the glass. On the center portion is where I gotta be careful. That's most likely where it's gonna split if I rush it. So yeah, this part is the most time consuming. And we have contact. Yes. So no splitting. Now to do the other side. Same concept, just take your time. Just making sure that the adhesive on the edge is good before I start turning inwards. Now I like to do the foiling all as one piece, like this piece of glass for the top is going to be one piece. I mean, you don't have to, but I just like that challenge for some reason. Oops, sorry again. I guess some people also heat their foil before they do inside curves. I mean, I could see that working. Because you know how it is with heat, things expand. With cold, it detracts. All right, so we have contact. So that's how it's done. No, I haven't, obviously you have not seen me burnish it as hard as I normally do. We will be doing that. But for now, I just want to make sure this guy stays on there, so we're still lightly burnishing it. No split. So it's just a process Process being, take your time, go back and forth. In this case, you know, patience is definitely your friend. So we move on to the other one. So this guy's going to be fairly simple, fairly simple, fairly simple, fairly simple, a little more complicated, and definitely more complicated. And then obviously everything else is pretty simple. So yeah, I like the challenge. If I can do one foil without it splitting, I'm a happy person. And all it is just takes time. The worst thing it's gonna do is I need to redo it again. Well, I don't know about that. If I'm halfway there, I might just start from the last edge. I don't know if I'm that much of a masochist where I want to torture myself. Just to say I did it under one foil without cutting the foil in half or whatnot. Time is definitely precious. Alright, just a few more and then we'll cut the video off. Or if you got nothing better to do, I guess I could keep going. Doesn't hurt me. I'm not going after subscribers or anything like that. If someone can learn something, then it's good for me. My time helped somebody. If I get no views, oh well. We just keep chugging away because we enjoy what we're doing and hope to help other people understand the process of things. So this isn't my first time I've done foiling with deep inside curves. The recent one was the bull run. That 90-degree bend was a challenge for sure. So once you done one successfully, is what I've noticed is it just gets easier. And then before that, I've done a head like this before. This was back in 2024. It was actually my second stained glass ever, Suncatcher ever. So this is the same one of the second project of, I'm sorry. This is version 2.0 of my second ever Suncatcher in this sketch. This is a different sketch. Decided to go a little bit bigger because I wanted a layer of characters rather than the last one where when I restarted stained glass, I was like, shoot, I don't want to go too crazy buying glass all the time and not knowing if I was going to enjoy it again or not. So I did worked with whatever I had. And I didn't really have enough glass. Well, I thought I didn't until I cleaned out the garage and I'm like, oh great, there's more of that glass that I could have used. Oh shoot, I don't like how I did this. I like to fold it so that it looks nice. There we go. if you haven't tried this fiddle stick from Creators, it really, really helps. As you can see with deep inside curves. I don't like those tongue depressor ones because they don't have this, you know, curvature where it goes from thin to thick. I think that's where this is the game changer with this fiddle stick. Chopsticks would have them where it goes from thick to thin, but you got to go ways down for you to be able to get to the thicker portion on a chopstick. This one's right at the tip. So no, I wasn't taught how to do this. Just basically learning as you go, you know, what works, what doesn't work. I wish I had taken a class back then. Especially with cutting glass. I've wasted so much glass. But now I'm more conscious to saving glass, so I try to, you know, pre-think as to how I'm gonna cut the glass, so I'm not wasting glass. Because I can tell you, I got a ton of scraps that I can use. Oh, shoot. So there we go. No split, no split, no splits. I am gonna do one final burnish when I'm done, but I like to burnish it when I can lay it flat on the table. I really like to press down on the foil and the fiddle stick together as I'm burnishing. See, the edges we can burnish pretty good right now. So yeah, if you want me to cover something, just let me know. I mean, I don't know everything, obviously. But if it's something that I worked on and have an idea, I have no problem sharing what I know. I think this community definitely needs to share more. We definitely need more artists in this stained glass community. We don't want the community to die off because people get turned off or they feel that there's no good information out there. And, you know, that's good for everybody else because the more people get into it, the cheaper things get. Versus if it's only a handful, then finding materials and places that sell glass and stuff like that, it's harder to find. So if you're a glasser, I think it's good to be courteous and kind to other artists. And, you know, I think we need to help it grow. Although I think there are some that are trying to keep it to a certain few. And they don't see the bigger picture of we're needing more artists and glassers to get involved in the future. We don't want this to be a dying technique. Plus, it's always also fun when you gift them to people. They don't expect it. They get so shocked. I love their happy expressions that I get to see. So it makes it all worthwhile, you know. So we need to keep promoting stained glass. Now I am gonna try mosaic this summer just because there's so much scrap in the garage and in this room. I mean, little pieces as far as for scraps. I don't want to use big chunks of good glass. So that should be fun. I would definitely like to learn how to do that so that way I can make some more different type of art. Uh-oh, we're getting to another hard part. See, so it just gets easier over time, the more you do it. But once you do your first one, you successfully do it, you know, get that belief and understanding that, you know, I did it too. And that feeling is just pretty awesome, you know? So again, it's not about the foil. Doesn't matter if it's a thick foil, if it's a thin foil. As long as the adhesive is good, all you need is just patience and time to basically do this, going back and forth. This is why it takes so much time. It's just all the back and forth, slowly bending the foil, stretching it out. So yes, foil does stretch, but you gotta work with the foil and not be so demanding at first. And it'll cooperate. I don't know if the camera, I'm sorry, because I don't know what you're looking at right now because I'm recording this. So I'm hoping it captures what I'm trying to portray. I just wasted a ton of time just rambling. Oh my god, I thought I split the foil. We're good. Did I? Oh no. Whoosh. Sorry. Would have been very annoyed right now. But since I gotten this far, I would have just cut it off here and restarted there. That's why I like to do the hard part first rather than do the easy one. Get the hard stuff out of the way. So yeah, can anybody do stained glass? Anybody can, unless you're taking blood thinners, and you just got to be very careful. But even then, that's pretty risky too, I believe. But in general, anybody can. I do shake. I shake more when I focus on it. But in general, I do shake. My hands shake at least. It all depends on how I'm holding something too. That seems to trigger the shakes a little more. So I'm just eyeing it to make sure that it's all the way inside. trying to avoid touching the adhesive. So that way we don't have any oils getting inside the adhesive portion. Alright, so we're getting to the second difficult one. Although this one has a pretty good bend compared to the first one. See, if this glass wasn't so thick, my main concern right now is I got like a gap here, and I think I got a gap around here. A thinner foil would be ideal because that little gap would be, you know, it would look like it's normal after it's soldered. Because of the foiling right now on the rest of the project is pretty thick. But since this is thick glass, I had no choice but to use 7/32. So I really can't offset the gap portion. Oh shoot, sorry. I don't mean to whip you around. Although the stock market did that to me on Friday. It was so painful. Made a few mistakes that day. One was to trade. Two, not leaving with a negative. And then I could have gotten back in at a better price. So yeah, it dragged me all the way down. And I fought back. Not the way to trade. Ooh, what's going on here? It's ugly. Contact. We want contact. Contact. Yeah, so if you guys know about Jerry E. England, or if you don't, I should say, check him out. He does daily, not daily, he does live videos while he's working on projects. He covers a lot of different ideas and questions as well. And honestly, seems to be really down to earth. So I don't mind promoting him. I think he's a good channel. Unlike some, he doesn't have propaganda stuff. Keeps it strictly to stained glass, so that's good to know. But yeah, he seems to really enjoy what he does, and you know, shows you how he does it. So if you don't have a stained glass store around you and you want it to take a class, he's definitely somebody that you should check out. So there are a bunch of YouTubers now and people making videos of stained glass. Basically, it's like the stock market. Just be careful of what you see. Might not be the best thing as far as how they're doing something. Oh shit, I really got this twisted. But then again, you know, the main thing is creation. Creation and promoting the stained glass. I think that's more important, I guess. So it doesn't really matter how you got to the end. As long as you get to the end. That feeling that every time you finish a project, it's hard to beat. It really is. You put all this time and when you're done, you're pretty happy with it. Sometimes I'm not, but in general. Alright, kids. Sorry, I think I can say that now because I'm 51? I stopped counting, to be honest. I really don't care. So anybody that's under 50, I think they're so young. Alright. We are getting there. Could I go quicker? Yes. Do I want to? Yes. But do I want to restart this? No. All because I split the foil. Ouch. My elbow. I'm sitting all awkward right now. It's for you people, folks. It's for you. Hope you appreciate it. I'm all contorted. Again, I really hope this video is catching what it needs to. I have to review this. Maybe edit it too, because I'm just rambling. It's almost 9 o'clock. Been up since 5:30. Felt guilty, so I had to put in a few hours of work. Okay, now I feel like I'm pushing it. To just slow it down a little bit, just in case. Gotta practice what you preach. Excuse me. I better not be getting sick. Because my throat's actually feeling a little itchy. That's usually a sign sometimes. Ooh, now the easy part, thank God. So I just basically eyeball it. I don't know if you can see the same thing that I can. I just eyeball it. And I'm not gonna go crazy. A little bit at a time. I am gonna wrap this with twisted wire. I was going to use the zinc, my stained glass door. Shout out to Barb and Colleen at the Classical Glass. She says she has no problems bending zinc for me. I just gotta be very specific on the diameter and give her some time and she'll have it done. Now, is that customer service or is that service? This is why I want to support her. So many people say, oh, why don't you buy your stuff from here? Well, you should buy stuff from this guy online. I'm like, oh. You gotta support your... No, you don't have to. But think about it. If your stained glass store goes away and it's local to you, then you're gonna do all the shipping. You can only get stained glass stuff from online. Yeah, no thanks. I don't need to create more trash with boxes and whatnot. I want to look at the glass and select the glass that I want. So in that sense, I am fortunate that I do have a stained glass store nearby. And I love them. If it wasn't for Barb, I think getting back to stained glass might have been more of a challenge than I wanted. She was always so nice. I mean, I never took a class. I never paid her for a class. I asked her a zillion questions in 2024, and she's always made time to answer them. So yeah, she might be a little more expensive. Well, sometimes she gives me discounts. I don't know why, but I appreciate it. But for her kindness and free education by giving me details, I support her with my wallet. Alright, you gotta be careful here. I know I'm tired. I want to finish already. Falling isn't the best, funnest part, I guess you can say. But we're so close. Don't screw it up. Nice. And now, we're almost there. Just 2 more laps or wraps, or just covering 2 more sides, and then that's it. So hopefully you found this information useful. I know it's a little long. Oh, don't cut at the wrong spot either. So there you have it, pretty much. Just gotta do the last bit of foiling and or burnishing, and we're done. Thank you.